you struggling with a lot of stress in your life and you're just finding yourself constantly anxious, stressed, overwhelmed, always taking deep breaths and just feeling scattered and out of control. Guys, this is a very familiar phenomena that we all have experienced, including myself. And in this mini workshop, I'm going to be showing you and teaching you some really cool tips and techniques how to manage your stress better. Hi guys, Evette Rose here. Guys, I am so excited for this mini workshop. I'm really looking forward into diving into how to manage our stress better. This is something that we probably, and I'm sure you can also relate, experience on a daily basis. Sometimes the stress that we feel is super high, sometimes it's super low. Either way, there is sometimes just a little bit of stress also in the background. What triggers it? Anything. At the end of the day, a lot of stress can trigger it. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed with work. Maybe you just had a negative thought or a negative idea, and then your emotions just suddenly start to spiral after that. Before you know it, you're stressed. I get it. I've been there as well. So in this mini workshop here together, we're going to be having a look at how we can start to improve our quality of life. And guys, also just quickly remember that you can always join me at my Intuitive Body Workshop course, which is all about how to learn how to read the body like a book. If you love Metaphysical Anatomy, which is a big book of 679 medical elements and the psychosomatic stress of that for adults, guys, you have to join us. And yes, also, guys, we have the kids version as well, among so many other books. I just released almost 18 books, so I've been really super busy while I've been a bit quiet in the background, so I have so much to be sharing with you guys very, very soon, so watch this space. Guys, I always have so many other wonderful workshops coming up. Go to evetterose.com, see what I'm doing, because I'm always up to something. So guys, now without further ado, let's jump into stress and how to manage stress better. But here's the catch. Sometimes we're so quick to dive into something and to try to figure out how do we deal with stress, but we don't always quite fully understand what stress is and how it works. It's better to manage something when you actually understand it. So, what is stress? So at the end of the day, as you probably already know, but stress is your body's response to being just pushed out of balance. Right? It's almost like there's that tiny part of your brain that's also known as the hypothalamus that reacts to a stressor by sending out signals that can now trigger the production of stress hormones, also known as adrenaline and cortisol. Now, what does stress do to the body? This is the other point that we often tend to overlook, or not actually overlook, but we tend to apply the wrong tools to a problem, hence why we don't resolve it. So the first thing, especially for me, when I feel really stressed, is I get a headache. Even if I'm fully hydrated, I tend to get a headache when I feel very, very stressed. Now, if you guys are familiar with Metaphysical Anatomy, which I already talked to you about the Intuitive Body Workshop, and you'll find a lot about it in here as well, headaches. But just in short, headaches is all about psychosomatic stress associated with not feeling in control of something that you really desperately want to feel in control of. That's one of many, but that tends to be kind of like the pivotal key point when we start to look at that. And then many other symptoms we have, you can have an upset stomach. A lot of people feel their emotions in their gut, right? I tend to be one of them as well. You might feel a little bit bloated. You might feel nauseous. You might just feel a lot of discomfort or even tension, especially in the sternum area. You might feel a lot of tension or what's the word? My English escaped me. It's almost like a sense, like a pulsating, right? It feels like your heart's almost like beating there, but it's not really there. You might have mood changes, right? You fluctuate. One minute you feel happy, the next minute you feel really super stressed because that wave of anxiety is hitting you out of nowhere. And our hormones are upside down. You might also find that your memory is not as great as it used to be, especially when you get stressed, because it's almost like we're just mentally checking out when we get stressed. I tend to do that. You know, like you get that, I call it like the cotton balls in your brain. A lot of people call it brain fog. Now, another thing also that can contribute to this is poor sleep patterns and insomnia, right? Even notice, especially when I'm stressed and I try to sleep, it's a nightmare because my head, I'm always thinking of something. Either it's a task that I didn't do the way I wanted it to do, or I didn't say that one thing that the person I really wanted to say. Maybe there's unresolved conversations. Maybe there's problems that you're still trying to brainstorm. You haven't quite found your peace in that day to kind of like just round it up and then start the next day. So this is normally when the body could still be flooded with a lot of stress, a lot of energy, a lot of cortisol that the body didn't fully get a chance to exert and let go of, so that the body can regulate itself and calm down. So normally basically what we're doing is like we're like these wind-up dolls that just don't fully unwind properly, and then we try to go to bed while we're still superly overactive. Now, when we look at stress, we have two main types of stress. We have the eustress, which normally is like positive stress. That tends to be me. And then we also have distress, which is our negative stress. Now, eustress tends to be the most common form of stress. Hence why I kind of call this like the silent stress, because we don't realize that we're getting on a path of getting stressed out really super fast. We only notice that we get stressed when you hit that anxiety, when you feel those heart palpitations, when you feel that headache, when you feel an upset stomach, when you feel exhausted, when you feel like you just can't sleep. That's normally when we are in damage control mode. And that's all with a big thank you to eustress. And that's normally because we do something that we might love, we get overly passionate about, but then we start to feel an urgency, we need to get it done. We might set up strong deadlines for ourselves, we might be perfectionists. So either way, whatever it is that you might be doing that you love, you are bringing subconsciously negative self-sabotaging patterns into something that is meant to be fun or flowing for you. Now, another way of explaining this is also could be like an example is could be before maybe performing in front of people or talking, or maybe before you have to write a test, or maybe you're having an argument with someone. You're a drama queen. You love arguments. We know them. At least you know that one person in your life, you feel like they just get off and arguing, right? So, but this is a really great example. Now, the factors that also lead to eustress now can result maybe in like short-lived changes in stress hormonal levels in the body. Now, normally this type of stress doesn't last really long, but it can also, of course, have long-term negative effects if you continue to stay in that hyper stressed, happy state. You get all these people that's always happy. That's eustress. That's exactly what it is. Are you a eustress or are you a distressed person? So that's something to think about. Because at the end of the day, eustress is actually also thought to be necessary for healthy development. So it's not a bad thing. But as most things in life, anything done or becoming stuck in with excessively can become problematic. And yes, of course, it can have a huge impact on your health. Now, whereas distress can also, for example, be acute, it can be short-term, but as most of us can probably relate, it's a little bit on the long-term side. So guys, if you want to continue this mini workshop here with me, then please join me at matmembers.com, register for free, go to the webinar replay section, and then you can continue this mini workshop there. We house and host these mini workshops for you for free, for life, on this website, which is for free, matmembers.com, and you will be able to enjoy so many other replays of mini workshops, free online healing courses. So guys, there you have it. See you there, or be square. So guys, there you have it. Also remember to subscribe to my channel, stay up to date. And also I have a free Mat membership website where we have so many courses up there. There's meditations, there's workshops, whatever you need, it's there. There's so many wonderful webinar replays as well that you can benefit from and also to observe and to learn from. Guys, also remember that I have written 18 books. 18, 1-8. And one of many among them are Metaphysical Anatomy and Psychosomatics for Children. So this one is a Psychosomatics for adults. This one is a Psychosomatics for kids. So these books are super popular. People love it. If you want to learn more about how your body works, understanding messages behind it, maybe you have that gnawing pain or maybe an ailment that's surfacing and you want to understand what is it that your body is trying to tell you. Guys, these books are going to be absolutely invaluable to you. You can find it at evettebooks.com, where you will also find all my other 18 books. And guys, also remember to keep asking all these great questions. I love to answer your questions at Ask Evette, where we discuss, life conundrums and, life challenges, and just answer questions perhaps where you feel, quite stuck in your life. I would love to share my perspective with this and to help you to resolve perhaps certain pain points that you might be having in your life as well. So guys, remember to stay in touch. There's so many great things that's happening, and also something really awesome is that this book is already also in video format. So imagine 679 medical ailments in video format, and with meditations and healing courses, workshops, masterclasses, everything behind that in our platinum membership site. So guys, remember to check that out. There is so many great things happening there. So see you there.